But let's move to our correspondent in Borno State, Umar Kirawa. Hello, Umar, can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, Umar. So what is, the compliance, the level of compliance like, in Borno State as regards the strike?
Well, there are some aspect of compliance in Borno State. However, there are certain locations which I visited earlier this morning where there seems to be walking ongoing. Particularly, I was at the State Specialist Hospital where I met a lot of patients going into the hospital to seek medical attention, and a lot of them have obtained their cards, waiting for doctors to make consultations and then obtain some medications. But however, at the Maiduguri International Airport, Muhammadu Buhari International Airport, I've learned that there is total compliance by the organized labor here in Borno State, because even we've learned that even in Abuja, there's the organized labor has shut down the airport. As such, people from Borno State are not using the international airport. However, on the other hand, students are seen going to schools to write their WAEC examination. And to give us more light on this, the chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Borno State, is here to shed more light on this. So you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yes. First, you introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Commander Yusuf Ini, the chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress there in Borno State.
Okay, what is the situation like? And of course, with regard to the compliance of the organized labor indefinite strike here in Borno.
As rightly said by you, yesterday evening we are able to hold our joint State Executive Council meeting with NSA and TUC, and we took a position that we are also not going to be left behind. So this morning, as early as 6:30, the leadership, which we formed as a strong monitoring team to this strike action, we went as early as possible, as early as 6:30, to shut down the Musa Osman Secretariat, and at the same time to shut down the Federal Secretariat. However, this is the first three to 4 hours of the commencement of the strike. We are having issue with our children who are writing WAEC. So, and then at the same time, we are going now to see how best to solve the situation, because at the health most of our health institution, people doesn't know that today the strike have commenced, though we have aired everything yesterday in TV and radio, and then mobilization is ongoing. This is the first 3 hours. Definitely, right now we are at the Nigeria Labour Congress House, trying to form ourselves to go out to enforce compliance.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, there has been a lot of issues, particularly with regard to the enforcement of such kind of indefinite strike, particularly in Borno State, taking into consideration the years of insurgency, the trauma of the people, and so on and so forth. Are we going to see the total enforcement? Because in the previous years, we've seen skeletal enforcement of such services, particularly in the health centers and other sectors, particularly the transport. Now there are a lot of vehicles on the road and so on. What is the situation like?
Yes. We have been experiencing this type of problem previously, but this time around, we are having a relatively peace within the state capital. So within the state capital, since we are having relatively peace, we are going to say that we impose the strike. As for the health institutions, we have taken a position yesterday that we are going to provide a skeletal services, essential services to those that may need an emergency cases. So right now, these skeletal services will be provided at the health centers, and at the same time, Ministry for Water Resources also we take a position that we are going to provide also a skeletal services for our operators, so that the citizens cannot suffer much. We are just coming up from our post-insurgency, and we don't want to have more trauma on what we have had before. But we are going to follow it the way it's supposed to be, based by the law, The transport commuters will just sat down now to meet the management of the company to make sure that all our commuters, those that are operating Borno Express, would be withdrawn from the road. Right now, after this interview, we are going to enforce the compliance.
All right, please, just before he leaves, can you go ahead and, ask him what he thinks the personal cost of the strike is, to the everyday life of the Nigerians?
Yes, we all aware. Yesterday, there is a very high meeting that was called, comprising of ministers, the chief of staff to the president, the secretary to the federal government, to see the best way to intervene. But however, we have already given them an ultimatum on 1st May. 1st May, we have given them an ultimatum that whatever situation we find ourselves, let them make sure this negotiation is over before 31st May. And we can see how the negotiation is going on. It's really sympathetic. We are really sympathizing ourselves for federal government to offer 60,000. In fact, they offer 47,000 when in the next meeting they add 3,000, which to us is not fair. The statistics we took for a single person, a single worker who has no wife, no children, we estimated for him to pay transport and food, it's worth 100,000 naira. Talk less of somebody who is having 4 children, his wife and himself. Yeah, that is not acceptable by labor, and we feel federal government should come to our aid because of the economic situation we find ourselves in the country.
All right, thank you, sir. Now, Umaru, let's come back to Lagos here, where we have our correspondent, Bernard Akede, waiting on us. Hello, Bernard. Can you hear me? Good morning. Bernard, if you can hear me, can you say something?
I can hear you loud and clear.